Hello, you guys. It's Sunday, and I am here to talk to you about being able to have difficult conversations with people that we disagree with, and it's in particular with people that hold different worldviews or different religions. I recently have been sharing a lot of videos sharing an interview that I had in particular with someone that was explaining what he knows about the religion of Islam, and I have been sharing a few of those clips also on TikTok and here, and mostly on TikTok is where I've gotten a lot of nasty comments, and on YouTube a few, but mostly people explaining their thoughts, whatever they want to, however they want to represent Islam. And I had one in particular, one person that I ended up, you have the option of hiding the person from your channel. I think they could still see your channel, just they can't really, their comments won't be visible, and I hardly use that. I hardly ever do that to any comments. Sometimes people think that I delete their comments, but I don't delete either. It's something that happens in YouTube, because I know sometimes I go to try to read some of your comments, and for whatever reason I can't see them, and I go to my video and it's just not there. So I don't know if it's people that I have hid in the past, or it's just one of those things that YouTube gets wrong, and they need to hire more humans and less rely on computers randomly, like doing things. I don't know enough about YouTube, but anyway, my whole point is that I wouldn't lightly hide someone from my channel. And here's why. Because when I first started on YouTube, there was a point where I started to learn about Christian apologetics. I actually remember hearing about Christian apologetics from the people that I was following on their YouTube channels, and one of them was David Wood. And so I would see how they would bring up all of these things about how atheists and agnostics and all these different ways of Christians responding to people that raise challenges or claims about Christianity. And I remember I got interested in that. So when I started to share on my channel about just apologetics topics, I started to get a lot of people commenting on those videos, comments that I was not exposed to necessarily in my channel prior to that. And I started to just feel that a lot of these people are very condescending and rude. And I'm not saying that only they can be that way. So it's been a journey for me to learn to not be so quick to block people and to hide them and to try to control like what people see in the comment section. I know there are other channels that they will just not give even the comment section, make it visible or whatever. But the thing that happened with this particular commenter is that they said something demeaning, I thought, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to respond to this person hopefully not emotionally, just try to say something in response to make this person think about how they're coming across to me, and how that contradicts like how they're trying to portray that Islam is not a bad thing for women. So I did that, and then I slept on it after I had done that, and I realized, you know what, that looks like I'm arrogant. Even if I am right in my point, it's still not something that I want to be, and I don't want to like put that out there like that either. So I ended up just deleting, and I actually hit the person, because when you resort to making comments, for example, and it's not the first person lately that has said something like this, you go after my looks and what I should do instead, sinful things that women do online. It's just not something that I can feel that you are going to have very good insights and you're going to share that on my channel. So those kind of people I do block, and it's not very common. Actually, when I was responding to that person in that comment, I even paused, because I'm like, wait a minute, I cannot say that. Look at how all the people that have commented on my videos, look at how, look at how nasty they're responding. And I paused myself. I'm like, let me be more clear about, no, this is this person. It's not all people within that are talking to me, leaving comments about their religion. So yeah, it's just something to be aware of, to catch yourself and be honest with yourself. And so that's why I said, like, even, it's not just other people, but Christians, we can be condescending too. And it's important that we try to improve, and if this is something that you are tempted to be condescending about Christianity, or about just your strong feelings about how it's true and how wrong these other people are, then that's something that you need to work on as a Christian too. So that's where I feel that God is leading me that direction. So those comments, yeah, they take me back to when I would have a lot of like atheist people leaving comments. And so, for example, I think that, the election is, I don't even know how many days, we're not in the double digits anymore. And I don't know if you're watching this like way in the future, the year is 2024, and so it's between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. So there is a situation two situations that have happened recently where I'm like, oh wow, like the quote or the saying just comes to my mind about how, how they say, like, when you're eating or whatever, when you're gathering with your family or friends, the etiquette is don't talk about religion or politics. And why? Because like we are so passionate about those two things, we are very convinced that we are right, and that the other people are wrong. And then the whole, I believe that it's possible to learn to have conversations, but the problem is that maybe we don't say things as clearly as the other person needs to understand it, and then we like misunderstand, or we do give into that like condescending, disrespectful type of, we go down there, and then when you're there, it's you are not having an edifying conversation. So I saw a live stream on, should I just say it, on Trinity Radio, and it ended up being something about some Christians thought that you have to vote, it's the right thing to do, you have to vote. But then other Christians were making the argument of, wait, but there is also another strategy of, if you don't like how things are going, why are you going to give someone your vote? Instead, show how they didn't earn it, and then maybe in the future, in the next 4 years or whatever, the next candidates will have to like cater to, for example, the Christian community, and do better than what's going on in this election year. So there's that. And then there was another, before I move on, to me it's a little shocking, and my instincts is, I can be a little outspoken online especially. So to me it's like, what are you guys even talking about? Like, vote. You come into this country, you do things the way this country, was founded for us to do. We were given the rights, we demanded the rights to vote, and that's what we have to do. Don't throw away your vote. Just pick from one terrible person or the other terrible person. Pick the one that you most align with politically or even religiously, and just vote. But skipping, like, to me it's like, I'll be honest, I haven't voted like for the smaller what would you call them, elections still. Like for California or for like our community, sometimes like that's what I want to challenge myself to, actually like read more, and not just go based off of, okay, well, I'm the Republican Party and this is a Republican, and the Republicans are telling me to vote this way or whatever. I feel that we are lacking definitely in talking more about politics. Like, if we learned how to talk with each other about politics, then we would be a way more educated community of people living in this country of ours. But because we avoid politics, I think that's why we remain uneducated too, and we don't push each other intellectually in a constructive way. So then there was another live stream on Apostate Prophet's YouTube channel, and David Wood was a part of that. And me personally, I'm tired of people just doing caricature versions of Trump supporters, because that's all you get from the left. That's all you get, to the point that here in California, to the point that it would be a big deal for me living here in California to actually put like one of those lawn signs in support of Trump, or like a sticker or whatever, because you are afraid of being labeled as a stupid person, as a racist, and all these other things. So for me, it's like, I don't listen to people that are just going to continue parroting what all of the legacy media, all the news are saying. And so it came across that way. I felt that if we're going to talk about Trump, we need to, the live stream turned into something related to Trump, and I'll explain a little bit more. But it just, I think there was a misunderstanding, and I personally felt like, whoa, is someone calling me stupid for choosing to vote for Trump? And so here's the thing. The live stream was commenting on how Trump recently allowed a group of Muslims, I don't know their background or anything, but they pretty much were endorsing Trump. And so to me, it's obviously, from what I've heard, Trump, it's not about integrity, it's about winning. Right? It's about winning. And why the impression that I get for that is that when he was running earlier, they asked him, well, why did you say this when you were president, and why are you saying this now? And he's like, well, because I was president back then, something like that he said. And to me, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, That's not right. That's not necessarily like having character and being consistent. But that's what this person is. And let me go back, maybe that'll help me. So anyway, you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but I did not want Trump to be the candidate. But I was even like, oh man, I hope we don't lose, because I felt like the MAGA people, the true like hardcore supporters of Trump, they were the ones that made it so that other people would not, we would not have another candidate. So here we go again, like every single year that Trump has run, possibly not the middle one, I don't even remember the middle one, but for sure the first time Trump ran, I believed everything that the CNN people were saying about him, that it was going to turn into this scary situation where like it was going to be like Germany, and they're going to come after you in your homes and whatnot, illegal immigrants and things like that. So anyway, like I feel like most of the times I haven't wanted Trump. But I think the second time that I did vote, I voted for Trump all 3 times. I am going to vote for Trump. But all 3 times, the second time was more like, okay, I got to see him and I liked how things were going. So it was different that second time. But the first and this other one, it's more of unfortunately, he's the person that we have. And I felt like maybe we could have the same things that Trump stood for, but we would have a little more of a more exemplary when it comes to character, and more of a like a religious person, because to my understanding, Trump does say, he hints sometimes that he credits God, for example, but he sounds like he's not sure. He credits God for saving him from that bullet sometimes, but to me he seems more like an agnostic to me. I'm not sure if that's true or not. And you're free to have your own opinion, So anyway, that's where I'm coming from. So when I hear people not being very clear about Trump supporters, to me it just is like, oh, I can't listen to this. Like I'm done listening to this. All like, how many years have we heard this about Trump supporters being this and that? And so and how many stories have we heard about Trump, and then later on there's like an investigation, and then we come to find out, oh, like they were the ones that were lying, not Trump. And maybe it's not a lot, but like there have been certain situations where, yeah. And obviously the news are not going to go all crazy about sharing this information with us, and admitting that they were like spreading false information about Trump. Well, anyway, the whole point for me saying this is that from these experiences, I think, and from the past experience that I shared about just like atheist commentators, it's important for us to be able to take a step back, including with the people that like we love, we come to admire. They become a part of our lives, as we watch their YouTube channels, and we look forward to their videos, and so like sometimes it's important to just put those things aside and just take a step back and just like hear what they think, even when we disagree. Just hear what they think and just take a mental note about it, and do your best not to take things personally. At church today, the message was about how Jesus told us that the world is going to hate you because they hated him, and because he exposed their evil deeds. And so like the way we respond is with love, and we don't respond with evil for evil. And I think that's the way we need to start talking about politics. When people insult us, whenever, like however the conversation is going to go, we can always respond with love. And maybe love sometimes means, okay, we're going to have to pause this conversation, or I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to, just kind of share my opinion in a way that is going to be constructive. And yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you will vote if you are living in America. This is my please go vote video, I guess. And if you don't, then you know what? I respect your right to disagree with me and not do it. So anyway, okay guys, I'll talk to you on the next video.